freedom ring. Let freedom ring, Phil Brady.
It was January 21st in the year of our Lord 2017 when my lovely wife Patty and I drove up to Raleigh to attend a medal ceremony where my older sister would be getting a medal for her service to our country in the first Gulf War. There are two significant things about this day. One, it's the day after President Donald J. Trump took the oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And two, it was the day of the Women's March on Washington, D.C., major cities in the United States, and every state capital. The medal ceremony I was attending was going to be at the North Carolina State Capitol. So when we stepped on the Capitol grounds, before us was a sea of protesters. And not just women, men, children. There was even a dog wearing a t-shirt that said Trump with a circle on it and a line. A friendly group, singing, shouting, yelling, carrying banners, carrying flags, carrying signs, posters and pickets. And the signs said, women's rights, women's protective rights, Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter, no borders, no fences, Muslim Lives Matter. If there was a cause out there, there was a sign and somebody holding it there. We made our way across the Capitol grounds, headed into the Capitol building where the ceremony was going to be on the second floor. The old House chamber built in 1850. When all of a sudden, men in gray uniforms came marching out of the Capitol. And I thought, it's got to be the Highway Patrol, here to protect the protesters. But it wasn't Highway Patrol. It was men in Confederate uniforms, soldier uniforms from the war between the states back in the 1800s. And then I suddenly remembered who was hosting this ceremony I was going to. The ceremony was being hosted by the sons of the Confederate veterans, the daughters of the Confederacy, the children of the Confederacy, the Order of the Confederate Rose, and the Military Order of the Stars and Bars. Basically, it's just a bunch of old Confederates. My brother's in some of these groups, and so he had arranged for this. And tacked on to their reason for being there, their main reason was they were celebrating the birthday of General Robert E. Lee, commander of the Army of Northern Virginia, who had been born on January 19th. So tacked to that ceremony was the medal ceremony at the end. We went up to the second floor House chamber. It has a nice semicircle group of desks. Made our seats, and we did something we did today. We pledged allegiance to the flag, and I was hoping there'd be a flag in this one. And then we gave a salute to the North Carolina flag. And then we gave a salute to the Confederate flag, which is, I salute the Confederate flag with affection, reverence, and undying devotion to the cause for which it stands. After that, somebody got up and started speaking about Robert E. Lee, what a great general he was, what a nice man he was. I didn't hear a word because I was still trying to figure out, for the cause for which it stands. What does that mean? What did I just salute? What are we doing here, and what am I talking about? What is the cause for which it stands? It took me about 5 minutes, and suddenly I had an epiphany. There's 150 people on the second floor of the House chamber of the old Capitol building celebrating the life of a general who fought in the Civil War for the losing side, and giving out medals to these people who had fought in more recent wars, Vietnam, the first Gulf War, and the second Gulf War. What is the cause for which it stands? So there's 150 people inside celebrating the old regime from years ago. But outside there's thousands of people protesting and shouting and yelling and marching and singing for the cause for which it stands. For freedom. I was so inspired just thinking about that. Inside of these people here, and I'm with them, and outside of all these people with all their various causes, inside there are people with their venerated observances and rituals for the old guard, and outside all these people are trying to move our country forward in a different way. It was quite inspiring. And it led me to believe that freedom has a different look. Freedom isn't just a bell up in Philadelphia in a museum. It's the ringing of that bell, the peal of that bell that sounds freedom. That's what freedom is. Freedom is action. Freedom isn't a declaration in the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. under glass. It was the signing of that declaration. And it's us out there declaring that we demand to be free. That's what freedom is. And that's what I learned that day up at the state capitol in Raleigh. Freedom is us getting out there and getting busy and getting messy and being disorganized and yelling and shouting and demanding. That's what freedom is. So I say, let freedom ring. If you feel like your freedom's being violated, then say something. Let freedom ring. Let people know that you demand to be free, that you are entitled to be free. Let freedom ring. Mr. Contest Man.
1 minute of silence, please.